Assalamu alaikum everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and have a very good morning to you all. Students, today is our 6th online class and it's our last online class. After that we have to move towards our physical classes. So students, during the online classes you have learned about enzymes. So let me take a review from that chapter. Basically, enzymes are the biocatalysts which speed up the chemical reactions. In this chapters, we have discussed about the process of metabolism. That metabolism is a process in which different chemical reactions are take place. And metabolism has two steps: anabolism and catabolism. Anabolism is a process in which large molecules are formed, whereas catabolism is a process in which large molecules are broken down into the smallest one. Here the word anabolism is also called construction reaction or constructive reaction, and the word catabolism means destructive reaction or destruction. We have discussed about different characteristics of enzyme. In characteristics of enzyme, we have discussed about the substrate. Basically, substrate are the reactant, are about the requirement for start of the process. And active side, in active side, enzyme attach with the substrate. After that, we have discussed about activation energy. Minimum amount of energy is required is said to be activation energy. We have discussed this type of terminologies in this chapter. They have discussed about the uses of enzyme. Enzyme basically are used in different industries in different purposes to speed up that reaction. We have used the enzyme for making paper. We have used the enzyme for the different biodetergent, as well as we have used the enzyme in bakeries for making different bakery products. We have discussed about the mechanism of enzyme. In mechanism of enzyme, we have discussed that there are two stages of mechanism enzyme, that is lock and key model and induced fit model. After that, we have discussed about the factor affecting the rate of enzyme activity. Factors are temperature, pH, substrate concentration. These are the steps which are involved in the factor affecting enzyme activity. Then we have discussed about the specificity of enzyme, and then we have discussed about the categories of enzyme, which is divided into two: intracellular enzyme and extracellular enzyme. Intracellular enzyme is take place inside the cell, and extracellular enzyme take place outside the cell. So now in today's lecture, you have to do the exercise based question answers of the enzyme. I hope you have done all the work related to chapter enzyme. In chapter enzyme, there are question 1 to question 7. As well as I have already shared the PDF of enzyme chapter. So when you come to the school, your work should be completed and your copy should be up to date. Okay. Now students, take out your copy because you have to do the work with me. Okay, first question number 1 is about to define the following. So first heading is about activator. Enzyme activators are chemical products that increase the velocity of enzymatic reaction. Their actions are opposite to the effect of enzyme inhibitors. Among activators, we can find ions, small organic molecules, as well as peptide, protein and lipids. Basically, enzyme enhance their activity by the activator and decrease by the inhibitor. So copy down this definition in your copy. Okay, now move towards our next slide, coenzymes. A coenzyme is an organic non-protein compound that binds loosely with an enzyme to catalyze a reaction. Coenzymes are often broadly called cofactors, but they are chemically different. A coenzyme cannot function alone but can be reused several times when paired with an enzyme. Write it down in your copy. This is the second definition. Okay, next is about prosthetic group. Prosthetic groups are enzyme partner molecules that bind tightly to an enzyme. The prosthetic group may be organic such as vitamin, sugar or lipid, or inorganic such as metal ion. But it is not composed of amino acids. As you'll know that when the protein are break down by the use of enzyme protease, then it converted into amino acids. Okay, ji, copy down this definition in your copy. Okay, ji. Now short question answers. We have discussed 3 definitions, so you have to copy that definitions in your copy. Now, why enzymes are specific in nature? Heading: specificity of enzyme. Enzymes are specific in nature, therefore a particular enzyme can only bind to its specific substrate. As we have discussed earlier, that substrate are the requirement. As we have discussed in the induced fit lock and key model, that there is a key and there is a log. The key is the substrate and log is considered as enzyme. When the key is fixed with the enzyme, that is formed enzyme complex or enzyme substrate. So basically substrate is our requirement, and when the substrate combined with the enzyme, so it forms enzyme substrate or enzyme complex. So the end product will be the key and the log. When the key will be fixed with the log, so that will be the enzyme complex. And it's all due to its active site. Active site of the enzyme possess some geometric shape, and as the enzyme are made up of protein, and protein contain different type of amino acids which carry different charge or nature, like acidic, basic, hydrophilic, etc. Hence, activity site is highly specific to its substrate. For example, protease are the enzyme which catalyze the protein only, and lipase act on lipids only. So there are different compounds like protein, fats, carbohydrates. So they are affect with their specific enzymes. Suppose we have protein, so protein has the specific enzyme, that is protease. We have carbohydrate, so carbohydrate has specific enzyme, that is carbohydrase. Similarly, fats or lipid has enzyme, that is lipase. So these are the components and it affected by any specific enzymes. Next, how enzymes are used in industry. Heading: uses of enzyme. Many enzymes are used commercially in industries. The most common industries are paper industry, food industry, brewing industry, and biodetergent. You have to make a heading first of each and then write it down with their answer. Paper industry, first heading: to get cellulose for paper making. Food industry, for making bakery products and pizza. Brewing industry, for conversion of sugar into alcohol. Biodetergent, used to remove different types of stain. Now the third one is about how substrate concentration affects enzyme activity. Substrate concentration. If if the amount of the enzyme is kept constant and the substrate concentration is then gradually increased, the reaction velocity will increase until it reaches a maximum, after which further increase in the substrate concentration produce no significant change in the reaction rate. Here the students, if the amount of the enzyme, there is a mistake, double A is here, so you don't have to copy double A. Number 4, how enzyme reduce the amount of activation energy. As we have discussed earlier about the activation energy, that minimum amount of energy is called activation energy. So the answer is enzyme perform the critical task of lowering a reaction's activation energy, that is the amount of energy that must be put in for the reaction to begin. Enzyme work by binding to reactant molecules and holding them in such a way that the chemical bond breaking and bond forming process take place more readily. Okay, move towards our next question. There is difference between anabolism and catabolism. For writing down the difference, you have to make two columns, anabolism and catabolism. So there is a center heading that's about reaction. Anabolism involves constructive reaction and catabolism involves destructive reactions. Next heading, molecules. In anabolism, large molecules are formed from a smaller unit. In catabolism, large molecules break down in small molecules. Next heading is about energy. Anabolic reactions require energy in form of ATPs. Catabolic reaction release energy in form of ATPs. In anabolism, energy is required, and in catabolism, energy will release. So copy down this difference in your copy. Exercise based are quite important questions as aspect of your board examination. And these are the questions which are related to your short question answers. Okay students, today we have discussed only about the exercise based question answers. So we have covered all the questions related to exercise based question answers of chapter 6, that is enzyme. So I hope you will all do your work in your copy and it must be updated, because when you will rejoin the school from the Thursday, so your work must be completed, because we have to move towards our next chapter, that will be about cell cycle, because time is very precious and we have very limited time to wind up our course. So I hope you all have understand about this chapter, that is enzyme. and I have added different types of videos related to the specific topic. So if any topic which you don't understand and you find any difficulty, so you can ask me, and you can watch that videos which I have uploaded. It will be very easy and understandable videos that make your concept clear, and as well as you also have a textbook, so you can read the chapter for your clarification of concept. Okay students, today this is all. So update your work. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.